guys, my name is Christina. Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be the second part of a dream that I had this morning. I have already uploaded the first part if you'd like to go and watch that. Please remember that not every prophetic word is for you. Pray to the Lord, ask him for confirmation. I am not accustomed to doing prophetic words. This is just my first one and my second video. And so I will try my best to get as much information of the dream out in this video and as much symbolism as I can. I don't have any equipment right now to edit my videos, so unfortunately this is going to be very raw, and I made a lot of notes, so if you see me keep looking away, I'm just checking my notes and stuff. And yeah, I already prayed over this word, but I encourage you to pray as well and just ask the Lord to help you. We'll ask the Holy Spirit to help you test the spirit and ask the Lord for, like I said, any confirmations or guidance that you might need. So from the first dream, I would have said that at the end, the counterfeit and I left that location. So in the beginning of this, like, it was like a different scene of the same dream. The counterfeit and I want to give him a name. Let's just say Bill. I don't know a Bill, so we should be safe. So Bill and I, we were in this neighborhood. It was his neighborhood where he was living. And in the first dream, I was saying that our location was somewhere I grew up. In this location, I have no idea where I was. I'm not even sure like what country, nothing like that. It was just all new to me, but it was his neighborhood where he lived. So we got there and he went up to his apartment, and I could feel like it was an expectation for me to go up there as well, but for some reason I didn't go right away. So he went upstairs to his apartment. I went around the corner of that building, kind of down a path, and there was like this meter box. I can't explain it, but back home they have like these big kind of metal things that come up out of the ground. It was like that, and there was like this object like kind of hovering over me to the left above me, and it had like a bunch of numbers in it. And what I was doing for some reason was copying the numbers from that object that I could see, and I was copying it onto this meter box thing that was in front of me. So I was like really working to try and get this information copied over, and I was doing it so fast sometimes that I was like messing up the numbers, so I would always be scratching it out to try and correct it and stuff. And what I noticed was across the street there was a huge house, a beautiful house, and there was a guy like upstairs. There's a guy like upstairs in the windows, and he was looking down at me, and he had on like this beautiful white shirt. I mean, the shirt was white, like bright white shirt, no stains, no holes, no nothing. It was just white, and it could be seen like anywhere. So he was looking down, and I remember feeling like it wasn't his house. I felt like he was there working, and I got the idea that he was like an electrician. So he was there working, and he was like looking down out the windows at me. And you know how us women are sometimes, if we see strangers and they're watching us, we kind of get like, ugh, like, is this person gonna harass me, or is this person gonna trouble me? So that's the kind of feeling I had in the dream. I was kind of like, oh boy. So I was kind of trying to hide from him while I was doing my work. And I finished it up. For whatever reason I was doing that, but I finished it up, and I started to walk back down the path to go to the counterfeit's apartment. And while I was leaving, I looked back to make sure what I had done was right. But when I looked, I had done like the tools that were on the object above. I had put too many tools. I had copied over too many, the number 2. I had copied over too many of them. So I was like, oh goodness, I have to fix that. Went back and I tried to correct it. And I remember when I was going back, I was thinking to myself, I hope the guy in the window don't think I'm going back to get his attention. Like, I'm going back to correct what I was doing. I'm going to fix my mistake. Like, I'm not trying to get his attention, you know. So I remember thinking that in a dream. So what I did when I went back to correct it was I was kind of trying to tiptoe over the metal thing so he could like see that I was like correcting my work, you know, like I didn't come back here for you. So I did that, and when it was fixed, everything was correct. I started going back down the path again to go to my counterfeit's apartment. And while I was walking, for some reason, I looked back again, but this time I looked up at the house where the guy in the white shirt was, and he was outside this time, but he was on a balcony. He was just like leaning over the balcony, looking at me, like just staring at me. And This time, look, I getting chills, look, I getting red. This time, it felt completely different. Like, I just felt like, I don't know, it was like a good feeling. I just felt different in this moment, in regards to him. And I remember my mind just started flooding with the thoughts of like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna go to my counterfeit's apartment? I know that if I go, something is gonna happen. We're gonna do something which I might regret. And like, I didn't want to get caught up in that, And so I was like, either I go up to the apartment, which he's expecting me to come upstairs, or I turn around and give this guy a chance to come and talk to me. Because he wasn't calling to me, he wasn't whistling, nothing. He was just watching. That's it. So I was like, either I go or I go back and I give this guy a chance to talk to me. So I decided I was gonna go back. I turned around again and I went back, and I had like a black marker in my hand, the marker I was using earlier. And I went back and I bent down to put it on the ground next to the monument where I was. And as soon as I turned around and stood back up, the guy was in front of me. He was right there in front of me with his bright white shirt. I mean, the cleanest white shirt you will ever see. So he was there and he was saying a few things to me, but one of the things I specifically remember is he said, I was asking Elizabeth about you. I was asking Elizabeth if I could have your number or something like that. He just was talking about this Elizabeth. I was asking Elizabeth about you. And I can't remember much else that was said in that moment, but then two girls appeared out of nowhere and he was kind of distracted for a minute. And one of the girls said to me, oh, he's such a nice guy. He's such a nice guy and stuff. And then she was like, what about the other guy? And I said, girl, I'm going to tell you exactly what I said to her. I said, girl, I know 100, and I was about to say 100 to her, and I went, I know 1,000% that it's not him, that he's not the one for me, and I don't want to be with him. That's what I said about the counterfeit. That's what I said to her. While the guy in the white shirt wasn't looking, I was trying to say to her, like, yeah, I know you guys saw me come into like the neighborhood with him, but I know that he's not the one, So that's what happened. And then the three of us, the guy in the white shirt, the two girls, and I, we went nearby to like the yard or whatever, and we were like just hanging out talking and stuff. And the guy said to me, how old are you? And I'm like, how old do you think I am? He goes, I think you're really young. You're probably about 12 years younger than me. And I started laughing and I was like, excuse me? I was like, you probably about 12 years younger than me, because in real life, like, I look a lot younger than I actually am. So we were all just laughing about that. And eventually he walked away like he was going back to the house that he came from, but it felt in the dream like he was going for like his cell phone or a pen or something. It just felt like he was going to get something and come back. And while he was gone, the girls were saying to me, they were like, he's such a nice guy and he won't get you in any problems. He doesn't even do drugs or anything. And I was wondering why she specifically said he doesn't do drugs, because they live in a neighborhood with my counterfeit, and I was thinking, do they know something about him? I don't know. So I said, oh, he doesn't. And I said, well, what about Bill? He does drugs or what? And she's like, yeah, girl, he's always over here by the other house doing drugs, smoking and everything. And I was like, oh, okay, because that was something I didn't know about him. So that happened in the dream, and I think it ended shortly after that. I don't remember anything after that. So now I'm going to try and share everything that God gave me about this dream. So first of all, the white shirt. White represents purity, cleanliness, and dignity. My mind was blown at the fact that this man was working and his shirt was not messed up at all. He was just still clean or whatever, even though I felt like he was a hard worker, but I was so surprised that he wasn't even messy, I don't even know where it is so much. What stood out to me as well is when he said to me that he was asking Elizabeth about me. So when I woke up, I didn't quite understand that. I thought, okay, God, well, whoever this word is for, maybe it'll resonate with them once they hear the name Elizabeth. But I decided to look up the meaning of the name Elizabeth. And the meaning of the name Elizabeth is God is my oath. Right? And I thought to first of all, I was shook when I read that. And then I thought to myself, well, I want to know really what oath means. So I looked up the meaning of oath, and it says, a solemn pledge or promise to a solemn pledge or promise to, often invoking a divine witness regarding one's future action or behavior, or usually a formal calling upon God to witness to the truth of what one says, or a promise to be loyal. Keep that in mind, right? So what also stood out to me about this dream is that I had this dream on December 30th, the morning of December 30th. The counterfeit that was in my dream, his birthday is December 30th. I have not spoken to this person. In real life, I have not spoken to this person for months, like half a year, maybe. And I just feel like the fact that God used him as a symbolism, as a counterfeit in this dream on his actual birthday, I feel like there's some significance to that. I feel like whoever this word is for, you might have a counterfeit experience again on this person's birthday. This person might try to come back in your life on their birthday. This person might try to lure you to their apartment to do things on his birthday. I just feel like it has significance, okay? So also, I realized that in this dream, this person was just, I'll save that one. So this person in the white shirt, I felt safe in his presence. And when he came to me, like when I stood up and he was in front of me, he was beautiful, like beautiful, like not beautiful, like flawless. He was like imperfect, kind of beautiful. Like he had like the little, like his beard was kind of grown out. His hair like was like dry, and it was like, I can't explain, but he was just beautiful. Like I could tell that once he was able to go and like go to the barber and stuff like that, that he would just be so handsome. But I already found him extremely beautiful. It was weird. And then here he was with this beautiful white shirt on. So the twos in the dream, when I was copying them over, but I obviously made mistakes and stuff, I feel like, well, in relation to twos, you know the number 222. I know also some people, God communicates with some people through numbers and stuff. When I first came to record this video, it was 2:22 a.m. 222, from my experience, represents like unions and relationships, right? In the dream, I was writing the twos, but I made a mistake and I messed it up. I feel like in this dream, I didn't go upstairs with the counterfeit. I went around the corner. When I ran around the corner, I went and I put in work. I was working. I was putting in work. I chose to leave the counterfeit and go and put in work. And I feel like that means like to work on myself. And while I was working, I kept making mistakes and I kept correcting them, right? And I made mistakes on the twos. Two means unions and relationships. And I feel like because I made mistakes on those, it's symbolic for making mistakes in unions or meeting people who, you know, we think has been sent from God and then they're not. And, you know, just making those mistakes or making those wrong decisions, and me going back and correcting that. I went back to try and fix the twos because I noticed that I put too many twos. And maybe, you know, maybe I noticed that maybe I was trying to put more twos than what was there. So I feel like some of us, we go ahead of God and we try to bring together unions or relationships on our own that we're not even supposed to have in our lives, you know. So with the guy upstairs, just being up there, he just saw me. He was watching, he was observing. He didn't approach me or anything. I feel like this dream is saying that the person that God has for either me or whoever this word is for, or us, they see us and they're just watching. They're literally just watching. He didn't call out to me. He didn't come down. He didn't harass me. Nothing. It wasn't until I went back and got in position. It wasn't until I decided I'm not going upstairs to the counterfeit. I'm going to go back there and be somewhere where that guy can come and talk to me. It wasn't until I went back and got in position that he came down and spoke to me. He didn't come and approach me until that moment when I made that decision to not follow the counterfeit. Until I made a decision to put myself in a position for him to approach me. He said he was asking Elizabeth about me. He was asking Elizabeth if he could get my number. Elizabeth means God is my oath. This person is talking to God about us. This person is asking God, God, can I give her my number? Can I get her number? God, can I approach her? God, can I talk to her? God, is this the person for me? This dream blew my mind. The symbolism that God put in this dream absolutely blew my mind. Whew, child. I love him so much. Trust me. Trust me. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I didn't mention. I also feel like the element of deception, the counterfeit. I didn't know that in the dream that he smoked or that he would do drugs when I wasn't there or I wasn't around. And so there's some of you that maybe there is a counterfeit and they are hiding stuff from you, and they might call you for a favor, and then the next thing you know, you ended up doing stuff that you didn't even want to do or didn't even plan to do. So I think God is saying, make a decision. Make a decision. Either you can keep following this counterfeit and going back down the wrong path, the path. When I didn't go to the counterfeits department, I had to go down a path to go to do that work, the numbers and stuff. It was work I was doing. So I went down this path, and each time when I kept going to walk back to the counterfeits department, it was a path I was going on. So God is saying, you either decide you can walk down that path and go follow that person and keep going backwards, or you can make a decision, make up your mind, and put yourself in position for the right person to find you, for the right person to approach you, right? And I think another thing he wants us to take from this dream is that the person he has for you, they might not look all cleaned up. Like I said, the guy's beard was growing out, his hair wasn't full of comb or nothing, but he just looked, he was handsome. And it's like I saw past all of that, and I think God is trying to tell us, see past all of that, see past that appearance. And I remember thinking to myself, he could fix that. Once he fixed up, he gonna look so good. Like, he already looks good to me, he already looks amazing to me. But I thought to myself, like, imagine when he shaved, imagine when he get a shape up. That's what I was thinking. And I think another thing God is saying is, don't judge the person he's sending to you based on their occupation. This guy was an electrician, and I remember thinking, like, so how come he not dirty? And that's how we, like, how come his clothes aren't dirty? And I think that's how we tend to think sometimes, like, just regular stereotypes in life. We expect that someone who does manual labor probably not as clean, or I don't know. That's just what came to my mind in the dream. So I think that this is what God wants us to take from it, is that don't look at the person's occupation. This man was working hard, but his shirt was clean. His shirt was clean, and God is trying to say to us, don't worry about occupation, because if he is a child of God, if he's the person I send into you, he can be clean. He can be pure. This man had on a clean shirt. Remember, I tell you, white, not one spot on that shirt. So he's trying to tell us to look past the appearance, look past those kind of things. And he knows our desires that we want for a spouse. He knows them. So I found that man absolutely gorgeous, right? Look past the occupation, because no matter what he do, once he a man of God, you can be safe. I felt safe in his presence. People telling me, girl, he's really good. God is just trying to tell us, make a decision. Make a decision. You can keep on this path of going back to counterfeits, falling for their traps, speaking to them, communicating with them and whatever. Or you can make a decision, go do the work that you need to do, the healing, the praying, the fasting, whatever, you go do the work you need to do and put yourself in position to be found. That's what I take from this dream, guys. I hope that I've been able to like deliver in a way that you understand, because God just keep revealing things to me through this dream. I don't know, it could be some symbolic to some people as well, in the case where it might be an electrician that you think is your spouse. It might be somebody named Elizabeth, you know, it might be, I don't know. But I just pray that you take this word to the Lord and ask him before you make any decisions or anything. One decision I know that you do need to make is let go to counterfeits. If you know, like me in the dream, he not the one, he's not who I want to be, or whatever, you just need to cut it off. If you don't have it within yourself, the strength within yourself to cut it off, ask God, pray to God about it. He will do it. I have literally asked God before to take away my feelings for someone because I couldn't let them go on my own, and he took away my feelings for them. So just ask him. So I asked him for a scripture to go along with this word, and guess what scripture he gave me? 2 Chronicles 20 verse 17. You will need to position yourself for a breakthrough. Quit pondering the past. Oh, a new video started. Sorry guys, I thought my camera was cutting off. But yes guys, take this to the Lord. I hope you have an amazing new year. God bless you. Love you. Keep safe. Bye.